Multi-vector integration is Kazakhstan's chosen course of development. In the program, Single Market.
A ship sailing in turbulent seas may be challenged by not only the storm, but also underwater rifts. Therefore, one must keep track of not just the weather forecast, but also the shipping lane. Hello, my name is Pavel Koktashev, and you're watching the program Single Market. In today's episode, the rules of the game, Kazakhstan's membership in the WTO, duties and prospects, the Eurasian Economic Union and the Silk Road Economic Belt, lines of partnership and intersecting points of interests.
2015 год для Казахстана прошел под знаком.
For Kazakhstan, the year 2015 was marked by the general rehearsal before its entrance into the World Trade Organization. The talks were completed in June. In October, the head of the state ratified the protocol of the country's entrance into this organization. In that same month, the presidents of Eurasian Economic Union countries signed an agreement on the implementation of Kazakhstan's tariff duties. And in December, the country was acknowledged as a full-fledged member of the WTO. Our correspondent, Anarta Stanbekova, brings us the report on what should Kazakhstan's entrepreneurs be preparing for already today.
Предприниматели, узнавала Анарта Станбекова.
Kazakhstan entered the year 2016 with new conditions of international trade. Of course, in the beginning, these changes will not be very visible, but gradually they will become more noticeable. And that means that the country's administration is getting ready for action, not to postpone until tomorrow what can be done today. What's more, the rules of the game are already known. Membership in the WTO means a red light, first of all, for subsidies related with support of import substitution and exports. What's more, import tariffs duties on 3,171 types of products will be lowered. On the one hand, this can be considered as a challenging test for domestic producers, and on the other, as an opportunity for development. For example, enterprises which intend to modernize their operations will be able to purchase new production lines at lower prices than those before membership in the WTO. It should be noted that the average weighted tariff has decreased by about 6.5%. This is the average rate. 10.4%. This is the rate today within the Eurasian Economic Union. If we look back at the time when we were not yet members of the Eurasian Economic Union, Kazakhstan's tariff rate was 6.2%. Therefore, we are in fact returning back to the tariff rates that were in place before. The biggest fall in tariff duties will be on imports of agricultural products, more than 9%. But for Kazakhstan's agricultural sector, overall the conditions of the WTO will not have a dramatic effect. The country's acceptable level of subsidies for the agricultural sector is 8.5% of the sector's total output and the same percentage level of the total production of a concrete product within the framework of the so-called Yellow Basket. As a comparison, there was a time when Russia received a permission from the WTO to offer a 5% support. Considering the demands of the market, Kazakhstan's agricultural sector will be able not only to stay on its feet, but also find a niche for its products. Today, in connection with the sanctions imposed by the West, Russia is asking us to substantially increase our supplies of fruits, vegetables, meat, dairy products, and crops. The Chambers of Commerce and Industry of China, Southeast Asia, and even Europe have also expressed similar wishes in this respect. We cannot miss such opportunities. However, it should be kept in mind that the transition period during which the WTO offers some of its more lenient conditions to Kazakhstan sooner or later will come to an end. For the agricultural sector, it will cease functioning on January 1st of 2018. From January 1st of 2017, tariff subsidies for participants of special economic zones and owners of unoccupied warehouses will no longer be in effect. And from July 1st of 2018, the regime of subsidized tariffs for enterprises engaged in industrial assembly of vehicles will also cease to function. There are many other nuances of Kazakhstan's membership in the WTO, which can be considered either as positive or negative. But this is not the most effective approach to the resolution of economic problems. It is more important to understand and accept the fact that all changes are accompanied by pangs of growth.
Все торговые союзы так объединялись. Сначала было болезненно.
All customs unions went through this. In the beginning it is painful, but over time when we see that many barriers have been removed and the path for trade has been cleared, we will see the advantages. We can find new niche markets, and those products which are more competitive will reach our store shelves.
Более конкурентные, которые могут достигнуть наших прилавков.
Как сказал один эксперт, глобализация уже имеет
According to one expert, globalization has already acquired its economic body, and international trade channels are its blood vessels. In this case, a common is in order. Kazakhstan's goal is to become one of the top 30 competitive countries in the world. This vector of development presupposes that, among other directions, the country should also focus on the WTO. That is why, in any case, we will have to work and trade according to established international trade rules.
Анна Артастанбекова, Ерлан Орлбеков, Анатолий Валуйский. Специально для Single Market.
Экономический
The Silk Road Economic Belt. This is the initiative through which China and the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union are attempting to synchronize their activities separately and jointly with the entire Union. These two global projects have intersecting points of interest. The range of sources of financing is quite wide. This is the Eurasian Development Bank, Asian Infrastructural Investment Bank, the Silk Road Fund, and many other financial institutions. Nevertheless, there are many questions arising regarding how this format of cooperation will be established. Our correspondent in Minsk, Dmitry Duanev, brings us the report. The countries of the Eurasian Economic Union are planning to approve the roadmap of cooperation with China already in the third quarter of 2016. This was announced by the chairman of the Eurasian Economic Commission Collegium, Viktor Hristenko, during the summary of the results of the session of the Eurasian Supreme Economic Council in Moscow. Partnering countries have already decided on priority sectors. First of all, these are the industrial and agricultural sectors, financial, informational, and transport infrastructures. Economic experts in Minsk believe that with the realization of the project of the revival of the Great Silk Road, the activity of China's entrepreneurs in Belarus will rise. Last year, President Alexander Lukashenko met numerous times with the chairman of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping. In return for investments and projects with participation of Chinese investments, he promised the partner country nothing less than a window to Europe.
Сотрудничать с Европейским Союзом.
To cooperate with the European Union, which today the People's Republic of China needs. And this is prospectively the determining factor of global development. This is for sure. This type of platform is only advantageous for China. And this is what Belarus is offering.
Народной Республики исключительно выгодно. И в качестве ее выступает наша Беларусь.
Belarus has signed a special directive number 5. This document clearly spells out the concrete goals of development of China-Belarus relations. And in essence, they come down to participation of Belarus in the global strategy initiated by China, the Silk Road Economic Belt. The foundation of its realization within the framework of the bilateral agreement has already been laid out. Not far from Minsk, construction of the Belarus-China Industrial Park with a promising name, the Great Stone, has been going on for the last half a year. This project is being built on the principles of a free economic zone.
Здесь будет производство будущих.
Leading companies will be operating here, which will offer products of the future generation, promising innovative products. We offered many companies the opportunity to establish their production and technologies here. There is only one condition: their technologies must be of the latest generation.
Завтрашнего дня.
This model shows what the Great Stone Industrial Park will look like. The object is located not far from the capital city of Belarus. Its territory will be divided into 3 zones: industrial, logistic, and commercial.
В этой зоне будет находиться коммерческая и жилая зона. Здесь будет жилье, коммерческие объекты и прочая инфраструктура. В промышленной
5 priority lines of production will be developed in the industrial zone: electronics, chemicals, biopharmaceutics, production of new materials, and commercial logistics. At the moment, we already have 8 park residents, 8 projects which are already being realized. In addition, there are 14 projects regarding which agreements on intention to become a park resident have been signed.
уже официально вошли в парк. И кроме того, есть 14 проектов, которые изъявили желание и подписали соглашение о намерении о вступлении в парк.
Aside from the industrial component of the Silk Road Economic Belt project, there's another component which may become just as important. With the aid of the Silk Road Fund, the budget of which is evaluated at $40 billion, China intends to participate in the realization of large industrial projects, including on the territory of the Eurasian Economic Union countries. These will be projects in construction of roads and railways, multimodal logistics centers, and energy supplying entities. By the way, experts from Belarus are of the opinion that for the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union, it is important for the capital to be provided in the form of investments and not loans, even if they are long-term, low-interest loans. Dmitry Dvoinev, exclusively for Single Market. In terms of investment volumes, France is one of Kazakhstan's most important European partners. Today, more than 150 French companies operate in Kazakhstan. By the way, 11 joint enterprises have reached the level of large production. And if the first investors participated primarily in the sector of raw materials, for a couple of years already, French businesses have been actively participating in the country's diversification of its economy. Oleg Boldarev brings us the story. In the last 10 years, French business investments into Kazakhstan's economy have amounted to more than 4 trillion tenge. Among large joint projects are the production of helicopters, electric trains, radio technology, and titanium ingots. Thanks to the wide range of cooperation of both countries, for a number of years already, France has been the third largest foreign investor in Kazakhstan. This modern enterprise, which produces dairy products, is located in the Almaty region. The Danone company invested more than 3 billion tenge in its construction and technological equipment.
In 2010, we decided to create our own production facilities in Kazakhstan. Seeing the potential of the country, we decided to even create a hub here in Almaty to cover the full region of Central Asia. So this was a major change, and it helped us now to produce locally good products from Danone with the highest quality standard in the world.
The production capacity of this enterprise is 10,000 tons of dairy products annually. What's more, the range of products is quite diverse. Around 60 different types of products are produced here. Mostly these are yogurt, kefir, and tan. These dairy products are different because they contain bifidone lactobacteria. Therefore, our technology is distinguished by the fact that we do not produce heat-treated products, but raw bioproducts, which of course have a positive impact on the human organism. The production of dairy products begins with the delivery of milk, which is checked according to 17 parameters of quality using an express method. By the way, the production of this enterprise meets European quality standards. Therefore, in order to do this, high requirements for the quality of supplied initial products are in place.
We try to develop the local suppliers. For instance, out of 2,300 suppliers that we have in Danone, Kazakhstan, 1,800 are companies registered in Kazakhstan, which is also a very big benefit for the country. And the more we invest in the country, the more we develop all our ecosystems around us.
Aside from direct investments, French companies provide technological and advisory support. For example, greenhouse production, which is located not far from Shymkent, uses the equipment and technologies of the famous French company Rochelle.
For us, it was very interesting to learn in this project because I think Kazakhstan has a very great future in terms of development of greenhouses, especially in this region, in Shymkent, because the climate conditions are really good for growing this kind of vegetables.
The food industry is considered to be one of the priority industries within the framework of the second stage of industrialization of Kazakhstan's economy. This was done with keeping in mind the program of import substitution and prospects connected with the expansion of the market within the framework of the Eurasian Economic Union. That is why French investments into the production of Kazakhstan's food products should be seen as an important contribution to the development of the trade potential of the country. During the last session of the Council of Foreign Investors under the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, which took place in the summer of 2015 in Astana, the representatives of the French business community expressed their readiness for more active participation in spheres that are one way or another connected with the production of food products. By the way, overall cooperation of the two countries reached the scale when a need arose for transforming the Association of French Business Circles in Kazakhstan into a Chamber of Commerce. This new business formation will allow for a more structural approach to joint projects. That's all for today. My name is Paul Koktashev. Kind reminder, all the episodes of our program are available on www.kazakh-tv.kz. Until next time on Single Market.